Hey guys, and welcome to PJ's Coin Capers. It's great to be with you. So I've called this video 2019 Keepers and Spenders. So what I wanted to do is, now that we know what the mintages are of the 2019 coins, is go through and have a look exactly which ones are worth keeping and which ones are worth just letting go by. So obviously at PJ's Coin Capers, we are big into noodling and going through coins and finding coins in circulation. So if you have any of these coins in bags or rolls, certainly keep them. I'm more talking about if you go through coins, whether it be in your change or whether you go to the bank and get coins to go through. These are the ones that I will be keeping. You may decide differently, but these are the ones that I feel are worth hanging on to. And there'll be some that I'll be putting a little bit of a question mark next to, but we'll have a closer look at them as we get to the individual coins. So up the top of the screen, I have got all of the IRB coins. Okay, well, not all of them. Some of them are down the bottom as well, but just the circulating general ones, so $5 through to $2. So let's have a look at the individual mintages for each of those. I've rounded the figures a little bit, and I have taken into consideration some of the things that we've learnt over the past week or so in regards to coin production and coins that were sold not only to banks but to individuals in the way of sachets and those kind of things. So I've rounded up the figures a little bit, so not exact figures, but they're ballpark figures, okay? So the IRB 5-cent coin is a high mintage, 43 million. Okay, so that will not be one of the ones that I will be hanging on to. All right, plenty of those. The 2019 IRB 10-cent coin is also another high mintage coin, and that is at 13 million. So that's one I will be certainly letting go by, and I certainly felt that as we were going through the year. Another one that we won't be adding to our collection pile is this 20-cent coin, and that's the IRB, and that had a mintage of 23 million. So plenty of those guys floating around in circulation as well. Now we get to the IRB 50-cent coin. Now that one there has a, let's say, a rounded up mintage of around 350,000. So that one there is going into my keeper pile. Okay, we'll put the keepers in the middle here. All right, so then we get to the $1 coin, the IRB, just the standard mob of roos. Okay, the standard mob of roos, that had a mintage of 9 million. So for me, that's too high and can easily be found, and I don't think there's any additional value to be found in that coin. Then we come to the $2 coin. Once again, another high mintage coin, IRB, and that's at around the 17 million. So plenty of those as well. All right, so basically we've only got the one coin out of the IRBs that we are keeping so far. So let's get on to the JC coins. So the JC coins are a little bit more interesting. So this is the Jody Clark effigy, the brand new effigy that has followed through into 2020, and 2019 was essentially a changeover year of the effigies. And this particular coin is going to be a keeper because it becomes our lowest minted 5-cent coin put into circulation at around 4 million. So let's pop that one up. All right, the next one, the 10-cent coin. This one's a bit of a question mark for me, and the mintage is at around 4 million, which is not super low, but it's the first one of this particular effigy. Don't know if that'll really make a difference long term, but at 4 million, look, there are a couple or a few lower, possibly the 2018, which did have a few extras chucked on top of it in this annual report. The 2018, what else was there? Definitely the 2011. I think there was one in between there somewhere. So, yeah, I think this probably comes in at around number 4, somewhere in that. So, for me, it's probably up there around that sort of the 1991 sort of mintage coin. So for me, it's a maybe, but I'm not willing to put it into the absolute keepers right now. So it's still sort of a spender for me. So the 20-cent coin. Now this is an interesting one. The mintage is around 3 million. Now that makes this coin technically, let's call it technically, but the lowest minted platypus. Okay, so we do have, well, all of the state coins are technically lower than the 3 million mark, so the 2001 state coins. But this being a platypus coin at around 3 million is potentially one to keep, and it's been one that has been very difficult for me to find personally in my area. So for me, I'm putting that in my keeper pile. Okay. The 1985 is at around 2.7, but I don't think anyone really finds them. So really, it's potentially the lowest platypus that's actually can be found in circulation. All right, so then we've got the JC. So this is the one that everyone was hoping was going to be extremely low mintage. Now, we don't know the exact mintage, but I'm going to put it at around 200,000. Okay, so there's a number of reasons why I'm putting it there. It could be as high as, say, 280,000, but I'm going to settle at around 200,000 on this coin. Okay, so this is extremely low, the lowest of all circulating 50-cent coins. And, well, it's pretty obvious this is a keeper. And these have certainly gone up in price as of the announcement. They're already creeping up prior to that, but we've already had a look at that on another video. So that becomes 100% keeper, and I haven't found either of those in circulation as of yet. Both of those are uncirculated. So we go on to the $1 coin. Let's have a look at the JC on this one. Another question mark for me at 2.3 million. So it's a mob of ruse. The lowest is the 1984, which is just over 1 million of the mob of ruse. We also have the changeover, which is also a mob of ruse, but a different obverse, which is the lowest of the regular sort of circulating $1 coins at around 560,000. But at 2.3, it's a question mark coin for me. So I'm not willing to exactly put it in that pile now, because it obviously, I don't know if we're going to find a heap of value with so many other coins that have a lower mintage. So I'm just putting it aside for now. The JC $2 coin, mintage of 2 million. Okay, so it puts it in the same sort of category as the 2011 Aboriginal Elder, which had a mintage of around 1.8 million from memory. So slightly above that. It is, I think, slightly above 2 million. But it's certainly a lower one. It does have to compete with the coloured coins. So it might be one to keep aside. It's a bit of a question mark again. But you will have to decide. Obviously, it's $2 that you need to keep aside. When are you going to get a return on it? How many do you keep? Are you just keeping just purely for your own collection? Then you really only need a few. If you're keeping for the fact that you may want to try and flog a few off in a few years' time when these guys don't look as shiny as what they do today. So they're all the things you need to consider, whether or not, it's worthwhile in the long run. For me, it's a question mark, and that's why I'm not quite willing to put it into really what is my special pile. Now, let's get on to the other coins that came out during 2019. So we have the Indigenous Languages 2019 coin. Now, we get lots of questions regarding this coin, whether it is meant to be, whether this is the correct orientation or whether this is the correct orientation. Let me tell you now, this is the correct orientation. The Queen's head is upright and the writing doesn't have a top and a bottom. Okay, so they didn't want one to be first and one to be last, as in the languages, to give preference to a language. So they decided it would be best to orientate it up and down. Therefore, there's none on the top and none on the bottom. They are all treated equally. All right, so this has a mintage of 2 million. Now, this is another question mark, but I'm willing to put that in my pile, okay? I know it's a lot higher than these guys, and in a few years' time, they're not going to look like this. And 2 million is reasonably low, but it's not as like the 93 and the 85 at $1 million, and then you got these guys. But it's a commemorative coin, so there is some special side to it. So I'm willing to put it in there, but it's only just in there. All right. Now, I've just grabbed a couple of the dollar coins from the Great Aussie Coin Hunt. Mintage around 500,000, okay, of each of them. Okay, all 26. I'm going to say 500,000. The mint says produced around that based on the rolls and the individual coins and the ones that were put into circulation, okay? So when you add all that up, you get around that 500,000 coins of each. Okay, so that's lower than the changeover, which does make them special. But the market's going to decide how special these coins are. So I'm going to wait for the market to decide whether or not these coins go back into circulation or whether they're going to be something sought after in years to come. So for me, no matter what, all these coins are a long hold. Some of them are going to escalate quickly in price, which you'll notice with the 50-cent coins and the 5-cent coin. Those things have moved fast. These, I'm not sure the market is too invested in them, let's say that. Little bit cheaper looking. The designs, people, they're not so special. But look, they're still to be seen. So they're in my question mark pile, but I think I'm going to still include them in my special pile and keep them in there for now. But that might change in the future. All right, the next three coins are the A, U, and S coins. Mintage of 1.5 million, which we already knew prior to the mint letting us know in the annual report. Once again, bit of a tough one, a little bit special. Does have the small little 35 mark in there as well for 35 years commemorating the $1 coin. It's a hard one. I think these guys are only going to look good for a little while, so it's certainly worth keeping initially. But once they start to lose condition, I don't think they're worth hanging on to. I mean, I've been hanging on to 2014 Mob of Ruse for years, and I haven't been checking the price. But even those ones at $1 million, are they highly sought after even after all this time? And that's what I'm sort of questioning with these guys, is will they be sought after more so that they'll be worth hanging on to? Or are you best just to let them pass by and hopefully find something of greater value by using your noodling dollars to maybe find some of these extremely low mintage 50-cent coins? All right, guys, so I'm going to leave them out of my pile, okay? So then we've got the three $2 coins. All three of them are colored coins that can be found in circulation. Each of them have a different mintage. So we've got the police $2 coin at 3.5 million. we have the Wallaby coin. Yeah, that was the Wallabies. What was that at? I don't think I grabbed a mintage for that. I didn't get a mintage for that. I'm sorry about that, guys. My feeling is I'd have to check the report. I couldn't even guess right now, but my guess is 2 million. But it really doesn't matter. And this one here, the repat. Now I haven't found one of these in circulation, so I had to grab an uncirculated one. And these ones here have come in with a mintage of 2.5 million or thereabouts. Okay, now all three of these are going to go into my keeper pile. They're always going to be popular as long as they look decent and have good quality about them. So they're going to stay. They're a coloured coin. People always want them. They're always going to be collectible. So they go into my keeper pile. So just to refresh, we'll go through exactly what I am keeping and what I'm not keeping. Well, let's just go through what I'm keeping. There's no point. We're going to keep all $2 coloured coins. I'm going to keep the International Languages 50-cent coin, both the IRB and JC 50-cent coins, the 20-cent JC, the 5-cent JC, and for now I'm going to be keeping the 26 of the A to Z coins in my collection. Alright guys, hope you've enjoyed this little look at the coins from 2019, and I hope I've helped you to make some decisions on what you keep and what you put back into the bank as you go through your change and as you noodle. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to bringing another video to you very soon. Thanks for watching.